Gotcha, birds. Here it is. The E-Synth. There are no user serviceable parts inside, so let's carefully okay, I can't hear this, but what we can do is kind of illustrate our problem here. This is the see if I just turn this one click, it hunts and searches, and I done some reading, and then I emailed this guy. There's an outfit that sells parts for old-fashioned synths and samplers and like this, and this is E-Synth. It's part of the old EMU tribe. It turns out I thought I could just pull this panel here. I'm going to turn this off before something untoward happens. I thought I could pull this and disconnect this from the house, and I thought I could wiggle this through, but it's actually held with a bracket inside here underneath, right behind the screen, which I am worried about. So I'll flip this over and get more screws out of it. This is the only kind of snafu is this. There's kind of a decorative little lip here of plastic that mates in with this edge to kind of give it a little finish to cover up the seam. And so that kind of came loose a little bit, so we'll have to improvise it when it goes back together. All right, yeah, this is not how I planned it. Looks like you had to take the keyboard out. This is still nailed down. I've got to get somewhere back in here, and it's kind of an L-shaped clamp somewhere. This came loose, not sure how to do that. And then there's just two ribbons. I don't know if you can see this. We're kind of upside down, but this goes in here, and this other end goes over here. So there's that. The keyboard is loose, and here's the pile of screws that, that held all that. The secret here is to just brutalize this bezel, and just work that loose any way you can. It looks like they might clip in kind of an L shape there into the recess in here, and then you can take these two screws, and now you've just got these ribbons to deal with. I'm not sure where to take them apart here. I guess I'll take them apart here. Here and here. We're gonna have trouble, are we? Okay, we've got one spot and they're kind of goobered in here, almost like somebody's been in this before. Some nose pliers to get in there. Maybe these fatties will do it. Gotcha. All right. That bastard's out the way. The hellish nightmare. Now then. There's the encoder. Oh, what fun. Okay. Oh, this board's... Alright, so it's just pull all these screws out. So, it looks like we're going to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then separate this ribbon that joins the two halves together, or the two ends together. And presumably our part is behind this. Double check, yeah. Presumably our our encoder's right in here. And once we've got this board exposed, we'll be able to access enough of it to actually solder the new part. All right, you birds, I don't really want, to become an unboxer per se, but I don't want anybody, to say that unboxing doesn't serve its purpose, because this is a celebration. I've been waiting. They had floods in Texas and elsewhere, and right in New Braunfels, and I think this might have actually shipped from there. And here's Cintar, the 3465, and that is the specified one. There are two types of encoder for the E-Synth, which is the keyboard model, not the, and it is the EOS operating system from the later incarnations. Yep, 3 connectors. Now, how does this work? Look, it just goes round and round and round. So it is an actual encoder, and it's got detents in it. Very nice. Alpha. That's a respected name. So they put the switches and sliders in a lot of big time, Hollywood era desks. So very nice. Maybe that's even ceramic in there. Who knows? This is probably a good product. And so we're going to go put it in now that it's out of its little package. Again, there it is, the 3465. And again, there is a different model that's not all solid like this metal on the top. It's just got a little bit of metal on it. So make sure you get the right one. If you've got an E-Synth or an EOS based sampler from that era, because this is what goes bad. And we'll see if this is the problem or if it's some type of logic hash, down the pipe somewhere from that. Okay, so we'll proceed with to put this thing in. And this is a Behringer product that died. This was a octave divider, like 3 days out of warranty it went. I had another one go bad about a year into the thing, and I'd only turned it on maybe 4 or 5 times. So the guitar pedals, I'm saying, probably are not something that I would buy again. Pally. Perfect. Alright, everyone very nicely seated now. I can see that. I don't know if you can, but it's actually got a little feet on the bottom to keep it exactly the right way on the board, and it's in there snugly but not too. Now all we've got to do is get some solder on there. So, oh, I should have tinned that up maybe. Well, we'll just see how it goes. Okay, I guess that other mucker's in there. And we'll go put her back in and see if this thing works or if it's now a relic. Alright, I can't really bring you on much of this journey because I just don't have a camera crew. So there's the part we put in right there. And here's where it's going to go back in, and it goes like this. It plugs into this little board, and then it gets all screwed in, and all these black buttons go in these holes here. So I guess this would be the left side of the player's, the board as you're playing it. And so once we get that back together, that's our first maneuver, and then get some of these cables connected and try and put that back in place, and then put the key bed in, the sides and the tops and the bottom on. And that should do it. Okay, I've spared you most of the coarse language and graphic violence. There were a few ribbons that needed special, they had to be done in a right sequence kind of thing, but I don't think it'd do much good. I think most people would just figure that out. I did not. But I guess we could it's not back together, but all the ribbons are hooked up, and this will either make a lot of smoke. Okay. Oh, look. The screen's up. Oh, I'll be darned. Well, let's try this. Uh-oh. Okay, that increment seems to be working.